small group. When you go to the link that is given to you in class link, you're going to go ahead and go here. It's going to show up like this. You're just going to press class link and it'll pop up with your name. It will do this first, and it'll say, is this you? And it should be you if you're logged onto your class link. Please ensure that you are. You will not get credit if you do not do this under your name. So I'm going to press yes, continue. And you see here that we're reading, it's going to be ELA. You're going to be reading a story called Little Rokoto and the Crocodile, a story set in Madagascar. And this is for the guided reading level L. And you can see right here, it's a 480 Lexa, which is where we're going to start this week. We're going to skip through this. The essential question of why are key details important when reading literature? So you're going to go ahead and go through this and be thinking about this essential question as you are doing the assignment. The learning objectives are, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to identify and discuss key details in a text and describe how characters in the story respond to major events and challenges. So let's go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to be started by visiting a setting. We know a setting is a place where a story takes place, or at times, as we know when we read The Orphan of Ellis Island, that excerpt from Scholastic, that the setting was also a part of a different time period. So it's where and when your story takes place. So let's go ahead and look at this next part. Sorry, I skipped it. So you're going to look at this setting and you can go around. It's kind of like a VR situation. You can look down and it'll tell you where you are. You're in a swamp in Madagascar. It tells you the latitude and longitude, which I think is super cool because we have learned about that already. It tells you a little bit about tropical rainforests if you look down, but you can look around, you can look up, and you're just going to be looking at the setting. Now, you've kind of already seen a little bit of what the setting's called by looking down, but also look at the swampy areas, look at the trees, think about them. When you go to the next part, it's going to be asking you, think about the setting you just visited. Where was it? What time of day was it? So you can go back if you need to. If you need to go back, please do. Some of you are going to go back and try to figure out how to spell Madagascar because that is where it is. That's fine. Use your resources. You can go back and forth in this this Nearpod, so you're able to see exactly what you need to see and go back and get the information that you need. So you're going to go ahead and tell me, where is this located? And you're going to take an educated guess and come to the conclusion of what time of day it is. Now, when you look at this, does this look like it's night outside? Does it look like it's afternoon? Does it look like it's morning? I want you to take a guess because it's not going to tell you. You have to use your context clues to know what time of day this is. So that you're going to answer that question. And again, I want sentences for this. I don't want you just type in Madagascar. That will not be enough. And you say, the setting is this. I believe, sorry guys, it is this time in the day. And put your time right here. I need complete sentences. I still have a lot of people submitting one-word answers, and we have to move past that in 4th grade. So you're going to go ahead and move on. And it's going to be under Let's Learn. And we're going to be reading. On the next slide, you'll read a story. As you read, pay attention to key details and that tell you about the characters, settings, and events. So again, you're going to be looking for characters, which are the people. the setting, which is the place and time, and the event, which are the things that are happening in the story. You also want to think about how the characters in the story solve problems, because in every story, there's a problem that needs to be solved. So you have to determine how the character solves the problem. And after, you'll think about the story and complete activities to help you understand the story. We need to remember when we talked about comprehension, we're just making sure you can comprehend what you're reading, okay? So in this next part, you can click for audio.
Click the arrow below to turn the page.
You can do this. That was wrong. Bad guys. Click this arrow right here. You can listen to it.
Little Rakoto and the Crocodile, a story set in Madagascar by Lynn Marie Pisano, art by Christine Joy Pratt.
And you're going to go through the passage like this. It'll read it to you each time.
Rakoto raced through the village to his home.
So you're going to go through this passage. Once you have finished, you're going to answer some questions. So I'm just going through the book so you can see. And then after that, we're going to click on Let's Practice. So the key details. Now that you have finished reading or listening to the audio for some of us, it's time to practice using key details to describe characters, settings, problems, and solutions in the story. So let's move on to the questions. Here it's asking, when does Rakoto have to return home from Grandmir's house and by? So when does he have to? So remember, complete sentences. Rakoto has to return home by. I need those sentences. They're super important. You can submit it when you're done. Make sure you submit it when you're done, or it won't come to me. Then, what does Rakoto find when he's looking for mangoes? Please draw and explain your answer. So you see right here, Rakoto raced through the village to his hut. Mama Lalo, look at what I found, he said, holding out a large spiny seashell. A seashell? Mama raised an eyebrow. You were to pick mangoes, not go shell hunting, Rakoto. I gathered some mangoes too, Rakoto said, handing over a sack of sunset-colored fruits. I can't wait to show Grandmere this treasure. It's the largest spiny shell I've found yet. All right, now that we've read that, what does Rakoto find when he's looking for mangoes? Now, I just reread this passage, and you can go and click on the passage, and you're going to tell me, draw and explain your answer. So when you're drawing, you're going to draw whatever you think he found. So I'm just going to draw a stick person to give you an example. That's not it, but this is my stick person. And then I'm going to type. And we know when I type, I can just press this T button, and then I can type Rakoto found. Remember, we are trying to make sure we have complete sentences. When you're done, you're going to go submit. You go to the next question. Who tries to eat Rakoto? And again, you can see up here that it's right here. I'm a crocodile, a very hungry crocodile. The creature lunged at Rakoto, jaws open. So from here, you should be able to figure out who tries to eat Rakoto. Again, you want to have it as a complete sentence. Blank tries to eat Rakoto. Simple enough. You're just putting it in complete sentences. Submit it when you're done. Where does Rakoto first see the crocodile? Please draw and explain your answer. So again, you're going to read here. And you're going to describe where he first sees the crocodile. You can draw and explain. Remember, when you draw, you're going to use the draw tool. When you want to type, you're going to click on the T and then insert your text here. The next part is, what does the crocodile want? And again, this is that same passage that we saw last time. I'm a crocodile and I'm a very hungry crocodile. So you're going to go ahead and read this and then determine your answer. The crocodile wants, and then submit your answer once you're finished. How does Rakoto get away from the crocodile? Please draw and explain your answer. So again, you're going to reread this passage and then answer your question within the best of your abilities. So pause and reflect. Think about the questions you have answered. How can you ask yourself questions that begin with who, where, when, what, why, and how to help you remember key details? How do these questions help you describe the story? Now it's time to fill in a story map about the character's setting, problem, and solution in the story. Use your text and drawing tools to fill in key details for each box in the story map. If you need help with key details, think about the answers from earlier questions. So who are the characters? For me, I would just put a text box here because it'll make it easier. I'll relocate it right here. We know that one of the characters is Rakoto, right? There's more than just him. So put the characters' names. You're going to go over here. You're going to put another text box for setting. You can draw it in too, but it'll just be a little bit more complicated. I have to be able to read it if you want a grade for it. So I suggest text boxes. You can put this one down here for problem. You can put another one over here for solution. Problem are the things that are going wrong in the story. Solutions are how they solve that problem. So what is going wrong in the story? That's what you're going to put for problem. How is the problem fixed in the end? That's where you'll put solution. And that's how you fill out this organizer. So you'll submit it when you're done. And then it's going to say, let's review. And there's a 5-question quiz. So you're going to say, who is the main character of the story? You're going to choose your main character. Where does Rakoto meet the crocodile? You're going to select your answer. Who is Rakoto going to see when he meets the crocodile? You're going to select your answer. What does the crocodile want? You're going to select your answer. And 5, why doesn't the crocodile eat Rakoto? And you can select your answer. You will not be able to move on unless your questions are answers. But for this one, I'm going to move on. And right here, it's saying that I scored 0 out of 5 because I did not answer. You want to make sure that you have a 5 out of 5. Because again, these are going to go in our grade book. And you can review your answers. You can move on. Draw an illustration of how a character solved a problem in the story and write a sentence describing your picture. So make sure to include the setting in your drawing. So draw an illustration of how the main character has solved a problem in the story. And then after you've drawn that, again, I'm not expecting perfect art. It's okay. You guys have seen my stick people. They're not very good. It's okay. Do the best you can. That's why you're writing a sentence right after, so you can tell me what you're drawing. And I'm able to interpret your drawing, okay? The last part is going to be a reflection. So you're going to circle how comfortable you feel describing characters, setting, plot, problem, and solution of the story. So stop. That would be stop, I'm confused. Slow down would be yellow, meaning I need a little bit more practice. And green is go, like I'm good at this. I feel comfortable, Miss Martin. Let's move on to the next topic. So you're going to go ahead and circle the one that you like. And then we're going to move on. And then this is the end. Once you come to the end, you are going to, it'll say tap start over, but you don't need to worry about that. Once you come to the end, you are going to be working on your second part of your Nearpod. Once you have finished with this, you're going to be getting on Literacy Pro.